Because the thing is, it kind of doesn't always matter where we are. We have these experiences regardless.
Right.
And so I think that humanity is what you're gonna really...
Alicia Keys reveals how she caught Swizz Beatz and LaLaAnthony together, and the gossip blogs wasted no time in running with it. Word is that Alicia caught her man Swizz Beatz sneaking around with none other than LaLaAnthony. Yes, Carmelo's ex, and the moment people heard that combination, they didn't even need proof because they were already ready with the pitchforks. But before we jump into finger-pointing and marriage-breaking headlines, let's go through the facts. Because there's what people say is happening, and then there's what's actually on record. Alicia and Swizz got married in 2010. They have 2 kids, and they've been smiling side by side on red carpets ever since. While Lala married Carmelo in 2010 as well, and later filed for divorce in 2021 after years of him, let's just say, playing off the court more than on it. So when this caught together story came up, people linked it back to 2021 when radio host Miss Jones claimed she had a DM from Swizz's circle talking about him messing around with Lala, which Swizz denied while Alicia kept quiet, and the internet eventually moved on until now. That's how these stories usually grow. A small spark back then turns into a bigger fire later, and the truth is, the gossip doesn't even need to be proven, because just the thought of Lala, a woman in the same circle, being connected to Alicia's husband is enough to keep Twitter working overtime like it's their main job.
Wish is to have a partner in the scene that is cool and patient and understanding. So
back in 2013, people first whispered about Swizz being a little too friendly at industry parties. Nothing stuck, but the streets remembered, and by 2016, Carmelo Anthony got exposed for allegedly fathering a child outside his marriage, which shook Lala's world, and suddenly she was stepping out solo, looking good and unbothered. But you know how men in power circles move. As soon as a woman is vulnerable, the friends show up to comfort her, and by 2017 to 2018, paparazzi started spotting Lala at the same events as Swizz and Alicia. Nothing direct, just group settings like fashion weeks and art shows, but you know how pictures without context live forever online. And somebody always zooms in saying look at the body language, so her leaning over to grab a drink turns into a whole essay about cheating. Then came 2021, and that's when the story really got juice, because Miss Jones, a radio host known for raw gossip, said on air that Swizz had been creeping with Lala and claimed a trusted source from Swizz's team gave her the proof, and social media lit up. Blogs ran with it, but both sides stayed silent with Lala never addressing it and Swizz brushing it off like people were reaching, while Alicia kept quiet too. And let's be real, sometimes silence is louder than words. Now here we are in 2025, and suddenly rumors say Alicia caught them again. No photos, no leaked texts, just whispers spreading fast because it fits the story with Lala single, Swizz having history, and Alicia known for staying calm in public. So whether true or not, the timeline of past drama makes it believable. That's how gossip works. It doesn't need proof, it just needs a pattern. And honestly, Lala could be minding her own business and still end up in the middle of somebody's mess. Why? Because her story checks every box for a gossip blog headline. First, she's a known beauty in hip-hop culture from her MTV VJ days to Power, where she's always been called fine, and in an industry where men's egos run bigger than their bank accounts, that makes her an easy target, because if a man even speaks to her suddenly, they linked up. Second, her marriage to Carmelo Anthony was already full of scandals. Melo got caught cheating more than once, and that whole 2017 love child rumor didn't help. Lala tried to hold it together, but once trust is broken, the public never forgets. So every time a man does her wrong, people assume she's getting payback even if she's not. Third, Lala's career keeps her around powerful men through acting, reality TV, red carpets, and private parties. She's visible. And unlike Sarah Chapman, Chance's mom who stayed low-key, Lala's brand thrives on being seen. And that visibility means more cameras, more talk, and more stories ready to be written. Finally, she's single now, and in gossip logic, single plus, attractive plus industry equals automatic. She must be messing with somebody's husband, and people don't even care if it's true. They just enjoy pulling Lala into drama because it sells.
You know, I can't like lean on what I did before. I gotta like put my feet in the paint today.
See the pattern? This isn't new, because when Beyonce took Jay-Z back after his cheating, people questioned her self-worth instead of his behavior. And now let's talk about Swizz, because his name has been floating around the rumor mill for years, not just now. since his and Alicia's relationship already started with drama when people claimed he was still married to his first wife, Mashonda, while getting involved with Alicia, and Mashonda even went public with that infamous 2009 open letter accusing Alicia of breaking up her home. So from the beginning, this marriage had side eyes. Swizz is charismatic, flashy, and loves the spotlight with art shows, fancy cars, and extravagant gifts, and he knows how to make women feel noticed because that's his brand. But when your brand is ladies man energy, people assume temptation is always nearby. He also has a messy history with his exes, from public child support battles to rumors of cheating even after marrying Alicia, and all of that sticks. So when you hear Swizz might be cheating, you don't need proof because his reputation already makes it believable. And when you put that next to Lala's situation, you get an instant scandal that to the streets feels too perfect, with Swizz as the flashy producer with a wandering eye, and Lala as the beautiful single actress tired of Mello's mess. And whether true or not, the story writes itself. Alicia Keys has always played the long game with her image, building her brand on soul, grace, and that queen energy that avoids drama, because when Mashonda blasted her back in the day, Alicia didn't clap back on Twitter or cry on Instagram. She just stayed quiet, smiled through interviews, and leaned on her music, and it worked because over time, people moved on and she went from homewrecker headlines to being remembered as the barefoot goddess at the piano. Fast forward to now, with rumors about Swizz and Lala, Alicia still isn't saying anything, and that's strategic because the second she speaks blogs will eat it alive, but silence leaves space for speculation while keeping her image clean. And the problem is silence cuts both ways because fans start asking why she isn't defending her marriage, maybe thinking it's true since silence can feel like agreement. In this case, Alicia's silence protects her image but also feeds the fire, with some calling her strong for not entertaining mess and others seeing her as quietly suffering. Either way, she becomes part of the story without saying a word. The thing about Hollywood gossip is it's not always about truth, but about leverage, because whispers about Lala and Swizz aren't just tea, they can be used to distract, discredit, or pressure people behind the scenes. The same way Offset and Cardi's rumors always seem to pop up right before an album drop or a court case. The same logic applies here with Swizz tied to billion-dollar art deals, Alicia still selling out tours, and Lala building her Hollywood career, because one ugly rumor can shake all of that since brands get nervous, directors second-guess casting, and opportunities dry up, and sometimes rumors are planted by salty insiders, rivals, or people trying to stir chaos. That's why gossip in this business isn't just gossip, it's chess. So when you see blogs pushing Lala and Swizz heavy, you have to ask who benefits. Is it clickbait? Is it someone trying to humble Alicia? Or is it a way to box Lala into the messy friend role instead of letting her grow? Because at the end of the day, rumors become weapons. And with Swizz's history and Lala's baggage from Mello, it doesn't take much for people to believe the worst. The truth is, LaLaAnthony has been hustling since her MTV VJ days, building her name beyond being Carmelo's wife with books, a beauty line, acting roles, and producing credits, and she's stacked up receipts, but the public doesn't always separate Lala, the worker, from Lala, the ex-wife. So every time Mello trends, whether for his NBA career or his side kids, Lala gets pulled back in while people see her glow up, the body, the acting gigs, and the red carpets, then whisper she only leveled up because she left Mello. And here's the twist. Because if the rumors about Swizz are true, people flip the same script saying she traded one baller for another powerful man. And if they're false, people still question her success and wonder if she's being sponsored. So either way, her grind gets overshadowed by men's names. Meanwhile, Mello, despite all the alleged cheating and outside kids, still gets introduced as a future Hall of Famer, and people treat his scandals like footnotes, which shows the double standard Lala has been living with where her wins get tied to gossip while his stay tied to stats. And that's why when people hear Lala with Swizz, it's not just gossip, but another way her name gets linked to a man's reputation instead of her own work, an imbalance she's been fighting her whole career. And speaking of imbalance, let's talk about double standards, because when Swizz's name comes up in cheating talk, people laugh it off like, well, y'all know how Swizz is, but when Lala's name gets tossed in suddenly. She's messy, thirsty, and can't keep a man. When Jennifer Lopez moved on from one relationship to another, she was called desperate, while men like Future can have a baby with every zodiac sign and still get praised for being a toxic king. Lala gets no grace, even though she stayed loyal during Melo's NBA years, held him down, and forgave public embarrassment. But the second she's seen enjoying life, whether acting with 50 Cent or rumored to be close to Swizz, she's dragged. Because that's the Hollywood script for women. You're either the angelic wife who suffers quietly, or the villain who stole somebody's man. The kicker is blogs profit from keeping women in those boxes, since drama sells better when Lala is the homewrecker and Alicia is the silent queen, while nobody clicks if it's just 3 successful people coexisting in peace. So the double standards don't just fuel gossip, but also shape careers, endorsements, and even roles in Hollywood. Men bounce back easily while women fight uphill just to be seen as more than the scandal tied to their names. And what's worse is the kids end up catching strays too. This is the part people don't like to talk about, but it's the realest. Because whenever cheating or DNA rumors start flying, the kids get caught in the middle, like Lala and Melo's son Keon, who's a teenager now, balling out and already getting college offers. But instead of just being Keon the hooper, he has to deal with whispers like, "Ain't your dad the one who?" or "Yo mama was trending with Swizz," which is a weight no kid should have to carry. The same goes for Swizz and Alicia's kids, who are too young to even spell cheating scandal but already see their dad's name dragged online. And imagine being old enough to Google your parents only to stumble across rumor threads. That's generational drama stamped into their digital history. The sad truth is none of these kids asked for this. They didn't choose who their parents loved, cheated on, or left, but in the court of public opinion, they always pay the price, just like we've seen with Future's kids, Diddy's kids, and even Will and Jada's kids. Public scandals always create private victims, and it's usually the children, because while the adults tussle over rumors, the kids inherit the side-eye, and that's the part of gossip people don't admit. It doesn't just live online, it shapes real childhoods. But let's keep it real. This Lala, Swizz, Alicia, and Melo situation isn't going anywhere, because it's got all the ingredients blogs love: power couples, messy timing, alleged receipts, and the contrast between Alicia's classy image and Lala's spicy glow up. It's like a Tyler Perry rom-com playing out in real life. Even if everyone came out tomorrow saying it's all lies and they're just family friends, the internet wouldn't buy it, because folks already picked their narrative, with some seeing Lala as leveling up, some seeing Swizz as messy, and some seeing Alicia as too quiet to be happy. So it becomes one big puzzle nobody really wants to solve. And here's the other thing, the culture never lets black love triangles rest, because whether it was Diddy, Cassie, and Kim Porter, or Chloe, Tristan, and Jordan Woods, once the internet gets a taste of a storyline like this, it turns into a soap opera of its own. Lala can land 10 more acting gigs, Alicia can drop another album, and Swizz can host another beat battle, but one blurry rumor will still outshine it all, and that's why this story will keep coming back. It's not about truth anymore, it's about the entertainment value of imagining powerful people living messy lives. So whether there's real fire behind this smoke or just blogs stirring the pot, one thing is certain: Lala, Swizz, Alicia, and Melo are stuck in a storyline the internet refuses to close. And honestly, that's exactly what keeps the gossip industry alive.